Hello, everyone! Welcome on into our stream. Today we have a very, very special guest with us. We have Miguel, who is the Partnerships Director over at Elgato. So, Miguel, we want to go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone in chat.
Think you did that perfectly. But yes, I run partnerships at Elgato. I have for past, I think, 8 years. And pretty much it. I mean, Jasmine does all the magical things with these streams and everything, so I'm just here.
No. This is like gonna be such a great Q&A because I know like our community loves and always ask about like partnership questions. So everyone in chat, if you guys have any questions, Miguel will be answering any like general partnerships questions for you guys. So make sure to go ahead and queue up those questions in chat. Any questions you have about his career, partnerships, or if you just want to learn more about Miguel, feel free to ask that in chat. We're gonna queue up every question. You only need to ask it once. Please note that we will only be focusing on questions towards Miguel. So any questions about like technical issues or anything like that should go to support. So exclamation mark for support if you guys have any questions for that. And I see you guys already know that we are doing a giveaway. So we'll be hosting a Stream Deck Plus giveaway. There'll be one lucky winner. As usual, you guys know the drill. You guys do have to be present when the winner is drawn. Otherwise, we will be drawing a new winner. So, Miguel, do you want to let the community know why you chose relentless as the giveaway keyword?
Um, yeah, so I think there's just like a word. I read a book, it's called Relentless, and it's about how like the mentality of like Kobe was, right? And the Black Mamba and just being relentless. And then I took that book to heart very at a very young age and just kind of sort of approached it to everything I did. So, when it was like um, creating content and going to college and doing this, anything, I try to apply that mindset. And it's actually how I became Elgato's one of Elgato's first partners um, when they launched their partnerships program as a full-time content creator at the time. Just because I was really always following up, always trying to do more, always trying to just having that like relentless mentality and attitude where I think creators could benefit from, right? Because it's a sea of millions of you, and you have to stand out. You have to be, you have to hustle essentially, and I think it's just like a type of hustle mentality overall, where you just want to like do more, push more, keep going, right? So yeah, that's why I chose Relentless.
That's awesome. And I see we have a great question to start off the stream with. So this is a question from Five Select Screen. How do I partner if I don't have the numbers?
So that is a great question, if I select. First off, don't worry about the numbers. I think numbers are something that you should only worry about when you reach a certain point in your content creation journey. So when you're at the top 1% and you're pulling 5K concurrent views and 1 million views after posting a video on YouTube for 24 hours, that's when numbers probably I think are the most important to you. I think at any point prior to that, what matters is the type of content you make, how you're creative, and how you do things different than everybody else, essentially, would be the key elements of what you do if you don't have the numbers. So, don't compare yourself to everybody else, though, and numbers are enormous as it is, right? So, how many people we have in here? We have 100 people. That's almost a movie theater worth of people just sitting here watching us chat, right? Like that's crazy. Can you imagine? You walk into a movie theater and boom, there's 100 people just like sitting there. It's not sold out movie theater. It's getting up there, but still, that in fact is huge, right? Because how does it feel when two or three people are just in front of you listening, right? That feels great. They're conversating with you, they're engaging in person, right? But in virtual, it's pretty hard to like downplay a number because you see bigger numbers elsewhere. So again, I personally, when I was a content creator, I didn't focus on my numbers. I focused on like the type of content, always having a strategy, always having a game plan. I think my first Call of Duty event was Black Ops, and I was there with like T Martin, Hex, Nade Shot. You're talking about big names, right? And at the time, they all had like T Martin, a whole bunch of people, Hutch, C Nanners, right? Like you're talking like back 10, 12 years ago, these are the big guys, right? Like these are the big YouTube guys. But even then, the big guys were only like 100K subs, right? So I only had, I think, 10K subs at the time, and a lot of people asked, like, "How did you get here?" And I was like, "Well, I approached the team. I said, hey, I create content, I stream Call of Duty. If I get access, I want to make this, and this is how I think it'll benefit not only me but you." And I had a game plan, so that's why they accepted me, even though I didn't have the numbers. I wasn't a hex, I wasn't an age shot, but I had a game plan, and they appreciated that, and they understood, where I was going to go with the content opportunity. So I think numbers are overrated until you reach X, right? Until you reach like 4K concurrent stuff like that. That's when you should probably worry about numbers. But um, prior to that, just do your best to create a content strategy, create the creative, different content. Try to do something different than just hitting live or just recording and then just pasting content.
Yeah, thank you. That was a great answer, and I'm pretty sure our community really appreciates that really in-depth answer of that. And to add on to that, so what would an optimal partnership inquiry look like for you?
Optimal, real simple. First thing, take notes. Your emails in your social media handles, because in your bios, because you won't believe how many times myself or somebody else in the industry is literally looking at a creator, go to their social media and go, I want to reach out to this person. No email. You can't even get a hold of the person. So then you notice that, I'll know somebody from EA has interacted with X creator. So I reach out, hey, do you have their email? Yeah, yeah, here. And then they give it to me. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Email on your socials is probably one of the most important thing, because they don't have a way to contact you via email. A lot of companies won't. I know everybody kind of says, oh, what about that Twitter DM, blah, blah. My Twitter DMs is like, it's always like 300 unread. And it's not because I ignore any. It's literally because anytime a new product comes out, people want stuff, people are following up about certain things, and there's no structure to DMs, right? I can't flag, I can't mark unread, I can't set reminders to them. So it's essentially like throwing a message into the ocean and hoping that that person is going to see it, even if they do start a conversation with you. So email is best because you can organize, you can search, you can follow up, right? There's a thread. So, email is definitely best. So always have your email. Now, when you finally do get an email or you want to reach out to a company, I would say you want to break it down to three sections. Your email. One, you're going to introduce yourself, who you are. This is important. You want to introduce yourself, who you are, and try to be very, very specific about it. So what I mean by that is, let's say myself, I'm a dad, gamer, comic book lover. So I would try to be like, hi, my name is Miguel Lozada. I'm a content creator that covers gaming while juggling fatherhood and reading comics at the same time. So you try to make it like a little story. The second part you want to do is provide three links of what you are proud of. So a post or piece of content you're proud of. The second piece should be something that you can relate to the product or duplicate for that product or brand, right? So let's say you're like, hey, Prime, I did this cool video for Monster Energy 2 years ago. I'd love to do some Prime stuff. That would be an example. So the company can see what you potentially are able to do. And third, I would say the third link should be something. The first one should be something you're very proud of. So that should be very creative. Don't worry about the numbers, nothing like that. But the third one should be probably something that performed that you're very, very proud of, right? So you had a viral tweet or you had a viral YouTube video or whatever. Um, and then the bottom should be what you want and what you expect. And so what you want from X company and what you expect to do with that opportunity, right? So, it could be Prime. Hey, if I could have one of every flavor, I'll do the 12 days of Prime in December. So you go bang, 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 right? So then, and then you tell them every day from December 1st to December 12th, I'm going to post me reviewing a different flavor in a very Christmassy way, right? And then you end it, right? Always have your links and your signature of all your platforms. And then another tidbit here, try to do this about 2 months prior than when you want to. So right now, if I'm going to do the Christmas one, this would probably be the opportune time for me to reach out right now to Prime, because it gives you time to talk back and forth and sort out details. Especially for like game releases, you don't want to be coming the week of, the day of. Like all this stuff is usually allocated a month or two prior. So that's when you want to kind of sort of prepare. So that's how I hope I answered that question fully for that person, but that's how I would go about an email to a brand or a company.
No, I think that definitely answers a lot for everyone here. I see that we have a quick questions about the giveaway. So make sure you are in the Twitch chat for this giveaway. It is a global. There is exclamation mark terms if you guys want to learn more about the restrictions of where we can ship things out or not. But it is a global giveaway, so just check out the terms, see if you are, if it, if it's eligible for you guys. But next question is gonna be from Becky. So Becky is asking, what got you interested in content creation?
So I was a Madden and Call of Duty player back in the days of game battles in the 2000s. I'm that old, but I had just gotten out of the military in 2009. I was going to college. I was in the military. We did like a lot of Halo and a lot of Madden tournaments, and I got a lot of time to get really, really good at both. So then when I got out, I would do like game battles. And eventually I was just like, you know what? I was going to college full time. I said, why don't I try to like see what's going on with like content creation? So that's why I got a Dazzle and I started creating content. So if you know what a Dazzle is, you're probably as old as me then. So yeah, so I just started creating content. I started recording stuff. I did like headset reviews. And I was majoring in marketing. So then I knew like, okay, if I brand myself, if I push things a certain way, I could, potentially turn this into a way of living. And I did, I think by 2010, 2000, like a year or two later after being out of the military, I was able to do full-time content at the time and live off it while going to college. So
Awesome. And so when it comes for looking for partners, what do you look for in a new partner?
So and a new partner. I would say not only myself, but I think everybody in the space kind of sort of talks to each other. So we all kind of sort of share the same views. Um, Creativity. So we're at an age where when I first started streaming back in my day, 2000s, it was okay just to hit live and have gameplay and a camera. That was like, wow, that's crazy. This guy is really broadcasting. 2023, that's no longer every you can do it from your console, you can stream from your phone, you can stream from, everybody can stream, right? Everybody's almost a streamer at this point. So doing, just hitting live and stopping isn't creative anymore. You need to be a little bit more. So even this, like Jasmine just created this very nice background, this layout, she's created the sliders. That's creative. She's put time into it. People like me see that stuff. So putting time into your streams, taking that day to when I was full time, I would actually like I would prefer like right now I'd probably have my Halloween stuff up. So I would change my list to like Halloween themed and my transitions to Halloween theme, blah blah blah. Day after Halloween, of course, you got to cut it right into Christmas, right? Because you got to get that Christmas, that stuff going right away. So November 1st, boom, I would have Christmas, Santa Claus, like little. I remember he would have a sled and he would shoot a rocket and then it would say the alert like thank you for the follow or something. So um I think all those type of things separate you from everybody else, right? And yes, I think anybody could find success in any way, but I think one of the biggest things I think a lot of creators don't really grasp is like you have to identify yourself, right? So what I mean by that is that your viewer has to somehow connect with you in a sense of how you identify yourself. So, like me myself, right? I'm a dad. I lean on that stuff sometimes. Right? I talk about dad stuff. I unbox Pokemon cards with my son, things like that. So another dad might become a fan because they're like, "Oh, I wish I could do that on my kid," or "I'm going to do that on my kid," or "Me and my son do that. Me and my daughter do that." Right? So then they connect with you. I think a lot of people try to keep things very vague and not very detailed, which is fine, right? Personally, but I think you can be pretty much out there to where you want to be and connect with people in a certain way. So, for instance, let's say you're a college student and you love Call of Duty. So that's what you would lean into. I'm a student at USC. I'm in my second year. I'm a Call of Duty enthusiast, and I hope to be a pro gamer like whoever. That's your bio. That's who you are, and those type of things help you stand out from everybody else that just says Call of Duty creator. Because then you're like, okay, it's just another Call of Duty creator. But these type of specific things help you stand out in a way where maybe a company's looking for college students, or maybe a company's looking for more mature gamers like that, right? So then this provides an opportunity for you to be targeted, identified, not only with companies but also with your viewership. And we look for activity. Are you engaging? Are you posting often? But I think creativity is probably the biggest thing that can set you apart from anybody else, is how creative you are. Because again, 2023, anybody can just sit here, turn on a camera, put it some gameplay, and play a game, right? So I think you the more time you put into your stream outside of stream time, I think the more fruitful it would be for you, or even post content creation. So
Awesome. Thank you, Miguel. Also, I just want to do a quick little shout because like I wasn't the one who made these assets. This is shout out to Marielle actually. She's the one that made all the amazing assets that you usually see. The lower thirds. The background's actually made by another team of ours. So shout out to them for the amazing work there. But for another question for you, Miguel. So,
mm,
what is an advice you would give to someone to not do? Because, what should they like not said? Like, maybe because I think something that I usually see is that someone just tries to reach out to you and just say, hi.
oh, like something they shouldn't say
Yeah,
while
shouldn't say,
streaming.
shouldn't do. Or like when it comes to like applying for a partnership or reaching out to
Oh,
someone.
applying.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the biggest thing is understand these people are people. I sometimes like, I notice somebody hits me up Friday late afternoon. I'm like, hey, I'd love to chat with you. Let's chat early next week. And then Saturday morning they ping me, hey, can we talk today? It's like, I don't want to be that person, but yes, no, I can't because it's my weekend and it's my time with my family. Like, I think because gamer hours are so 24/7, right? Like people either stream in the morning, stream in the evening, that people forget that some people's work schedules aren't as flexible. I try to be super flexible as I can, but you know, I think if you show two things you have to show is respect and then sense of value of time, right? So, like I said in the email, if you cover all those aspects, you're probably covering a lot of questions they're going to ask you anyways in their initial response. So, the less things you are actually covering for them to respond and ask you, you're probably going to get further along in the conversation. So it's just like being aware of those type of things. Um, you know, know this, most like myself and the other brands, we have TweetDeck up, we have Elgato, we have Stream Deck up, we have columns for every product, everything. Sometimes you don't even need to even really engage with those people. They'll probably engage with you eventually, or they'll see your work. I might see somebody do like, oh, that's a cool Starfield like layout and use case. Let me add this person to my list, and I'll keep an eye, see if they keep creating stuff, and maybe I could work with them. Create the opportunities through your content versus worrying about like, um, you know, adding the person. Hey, could we chat? Um, and then thinking that that's going to always that it's not wrong. You can do that, right? If you have an idea and stuff. But I would say the biggest thing is I notice that a lot of creators will go, hey Miguel, can we chat? I go, yeah, sure. What's up? And they'll go, hey, I would love to have a partnership. Okay, what does that look like to you? What do you have in mind? Crickets. They never DM back. And I'm just like, okay, you weren't ready. I understand you weren't ready. So I would say always just be ready to have the conversation, have a game plan, know what you want to say, and then that will help you, right? Because it's also first impressions.
Thank you, Miguel. So we have another question from Mate PC Builds. They're asking, what are the requirements to work with Elgato?
So you have to be super creative. That's honestly, there is no, we don't have, we're pretty unique. Um, this is where we are pretty unique in most companies, right? So if you're looking for somebody who works at Call of Duty, you expect you to play Call of Duty a lot, right? Or if whatever brand, right? But for us, we're kind of sort of open in what type of content you create. So that's where we're kind of sort of open. But the other thing is like how creative are you? It's not really something we don't have like a 100 concurrent viewers, automatic partners. We have partners that we have actually seen grow in the past. So I would say one person, QJB is a guy that we sponsored and I knew before he even had like 100K subs. Now he has like 2 million subs on YouTube. and he created Madden content, NBA content. But I saw how creative he was with his content. So he created content where he would play a video game about a sports game, but create a story within it. He made a character, he made a name, he made a backstory. This kid grew up in Brooklyn, and he's trying to show the world that he can, take Brooklyn to their first NBA finals. And then he creates like little skits and little stories in between each video. So he was actively being creative and different than everybody else. I was just like, look at my player. I scored 50 points in a game. Everybody else was doing that while he was like his favorite characters like London Bridges, facing his childhood nemesis. So it's like, okay, that YouTube video looks interesting. Let me click on that one. That one has a story versus London Bridges gets 3 picks in a game. Okay, well, I already know what happened in the game. 3 picks. I guess that's good, but everybody else has a 3 pick game. So why am I gonna click on that one? So, for Elgato, but I just think in general, I think it's very, very, you be brand aware. So see what they're doing with other creators, what type of content they want. Uh, Fully transparent with us. We value educational content. So how to use our products in a way that could up your efficiency and production. Like it could be something simple as this. So it could be like me without key lights streaming, me with key lights streaming. That's a big difference, right? Like the bit of a difference in quality. Another thing you could easily do is like, I'm Cheeto themed because of my key lights, being, this hue. So showing off different types of products and functionalities is really high. And not just the Elgato. I think that's with any company. That probably increases your chances of being sponsored. So
Awesome. And then we have a couple more questions from the community. And just as a little reminder, if you guys have any questions for Miguel, feel free to ask in chat. We'll be answering as many questions as we can in the order that they are asked. So let me go ahead and bring up this next question here.
I do have allergies. I noticed it's the one day I got allergies. I was like, great, of course, the day
One
I'm gonna
day.
be cute. The one day, all summer, no allergies, and bam.
Next question is gonna be from Millie. Do you work with a group or are you doing most things solo?
I work with a team. So I did do things solo very, very long ago. Probably when I first started, essentially myself and maybe 1 or 2 people in Europe for like Spanish speaking creators. But now it's a full team. So the US has Gabe and Artress as partnerships manager and coordinator. We have Susie as an operations person for the NA side. For the European side, we have Tom that leads the team currently. And each region has its own set of creators. So UK creators there right now is Kate, and then um, every region just has their own specific manager and stuff going forward. So now it's a team wide effort. So yeah, that's where we're at with that.
They're an amazing team. And
They do
also, you'll
great
probably
things.
see them during TwitchCon Las Vegas. So, if anyone's going, come say hi. And then next question is gonna be from The Rock. What do you see as the next big advancement in streaming?
VTubing. I mean, like me myself, I'm getting old, right? I'm starting to get gray hairs. You can't see them. I think I have a few gray hairs, so I could see where like my viewership might not like that if they're younger. They're like, oh, I don't watch my dad play Madden. So if you could immortalize yourself essentially, right, as looking a certain way, whether if it's an actual like in real life type VTube, I think Dr. Disrespect did something that was like it was like 3D, right? But it kind of sort of looked like him, but it was like so realistic, it looked like him, but it wasn't. Or like Jasmine does, she does a VTube, right? So I think that's very, very uh in the future to uptick. I think I've noticed past year or two has been increasing. I even made my son a VTube. We play a lot of Halo and stuff. He usually sits next to me. And if anybody's seen my content before, they've seen his head like be like right here, just popping up and playing. But now he's gotten a little bit bigger, so now his head's like up to here. So we got him a VTube, and it's like it has a Halo costume, it has a Spider-Man
Oh,
costume, like it has like different little models. So if we're playing Halo, he does that, or if we're playing Fortnite, he has a Fortnite one. And then he just has like a regular one. And I think we even made like a little dog that could sit like back here. We haven't used it yet. I've been kind of busy. But we actually had made like I think a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. It's been a while. So he's been asking like, "Can we finally do a stream again?" But I gotta set it up. But I think VTubing is possibly something that you just have longevity. You never have runny nose. You never like, you don't have watery eyes. You don't have, all your physical appearance doesn't matter because and then also branding wise, like we worked with a lot of VTubers and it's worked really well. Like they make their own 2D model of our mic and put it in front of them. Headsets, I think it's pretty cool, unique opportunity, and then it's a cool way to stand out as well. Even though it's an uptick, I don't think it's probably, I don't know what the percentage is, but I would say maybe less than 10%. Um, uh, VTubers versus in real life people, right? So they're not overtaking, but I feel like, right now is probably a really good time that maybe if you're considering a new refresh or heading a different direction in your streaming, VTubing, I think would be a very safe bet overall.
Let's go, VTubers! Next question. Oh my god. It's from you know who, Syndicate. Hey Miguel, how's it going? Who's the best intern you have had all time?
Man, we had an intern, I can't remember his name, but he was alright. I don't know, like, he was alright. I can't remember his name, though. He must not left lasting impression then if I can't remember his name, so that last intern was alright. Nah, Jonathan was our last intern. He was actually our first intern. Oh, the feels, emotional damage, emotional damage. So yes, no, Jonathan was our is our it's like saying like who's your favorite kid? He was our only intern so far. So yes, it's Jonathan because that's the only intern we had.
All right, next question is gonna be from Brito. What was your journey to get to this role?
And all right, so left the military 2009, went to college for 3 years, completed everything I wanted to complete it in 3 years. During that time, became a time content creator. Got an email from Elgato when they first came out with their first capture card, and this was the headline. It was a capture card the size of of a playing a deck of cards or something, right? At the time, the hot pot was huge. This thing looked like a cable box, right? So I was like, this has to be a scam. And then at the bottom, it was like Munich, Germany. I was like, oh, this has to be a scam. But I replied, I said, let me see, right? Like, let me see if they send me something. What's the worst thing that could happen? Obviously they replied back saying they need my social or something. I know it's a scam, but let me reply back. It was actually Adam and Julian were on the email and they actually emailed me back, said, oh, so excited you responded. We're gonna send you capture cards right before E3, I think in 2012. So I got the capture card and I was like, yo, this thing is amazing. What you guys are doing is crazy. This DVR, it's so small. You can take this to E3. Let's meet up at E3. I'll introduce you to some EA people. I have some recordings. I had planned on taking my big old hot hog, but this thing is way better. You guys can come with me and see me record with like my laptop and this. So they joined me, watched me record some Madden. And I was just a really big fan. And and then I was like a big ambassador. I was telling creators left and right, like, you have to get this, you have to get this. I think 2 months later was when I went to that first Call of Duty event for Black Ops, and I had it with me, and they were just like, wow, what is that? And I was in Elgato, and then um, I think 2013 they came out of the partnerships program. It was Paxi, so I was having lunch with Julian, and he offered me one of the first partnerships for Elgato. He was like, "You've been a great ambassador. You've been very vocal, and I think we're gonna do a partnerships program. And this is what we want to do, and this is would you want to be one of our first ones?" So I signed up. And then as a partner, I was always very active, very posting, very vocal, always helping out, being relentless, right? Always pushing. Hey, do you guys need anything? Do you guys want anything? This works, this doesn't work. In my workflow. I wish this, and things like that. And they always took the feedback. And then I think it was like summer 2014 or 15, I was finally deciding where I wanted to be. And at the time, I was actually consulting a lot of different companies, Astro, Scuff, Logitech, just a whole bunch of the companies, Microsoft, Sony, and they all had given me offers. But the Elgato offers seemed more. Two reasons why I took the Elgato offer. One, because I was a very fan and believer in the product, and two, At the time, I was still a full-time content creator, and it gave me the flexibility to not be obligated to only stream X, right? So if I would've went to Xbox, they would've been like, "You can never do, like, Spider-Man streams," or stuff like that, or, like, exclusive titles. So it gave me more freedom at that time, to still be a content creator full time on the side. So yeah, that was my journey.
That's awesome. From being partnered and now to becoming the partnerships director. Like, that's amazing, Miguel.
That's crazy when you put it in that aspect, right? It's a
Yeah. It started as a partner, now the partnerships director after I think you said 8 years, right?
Yep, yep.
That's awesome.
So,
Next question is gonna be from Ger, David. What do you think of the gaming industry currently?
well, that's pretty open. Gaming, I think, is at, uh I mean, different aspects, we're in different parts, right? So, Nintendo is kinda sorta like at the end of cycle, their console, I would assume their console comes out in the next 2 or 3 years, because the Switch has been out so long. PS5 and Xbox, right, have been out for 2, 3 years, I think, already, so they've been out for a while. Um, I think with acquisition and things like that, I think it's very, very, it's a great time to be a gamer, I think. I think gaming is reaching some new aspects. I think some games are just crazy, creative, and I think they build really, really unique communities. Um, yeah, it's pretty much general question, but I think gaming is at, like, a very, very cool place, versus, like, 2, 3 years ago, right? Because during COVID, so many titles were being delayed, so many titles were not being published, and it wasn't a good time. So,
Awesome. Such a cute little message. I'll read it to you after these other questions, Miguel. Next question is
okay.
coming from Nerd a Day. If you had to pick one Elgato product that helped the most in your journey, what would it be and why?
That's tough because without the game capture, I would never have been here, right? Like, I would have still been a hot hog and stuff, and honestly, not till the game capture and HD60 came out, I didn't stream. So I was really just a YouTube content creator. I did streams with a Hop Hog and Dazzle, but there was such a delay. I had to delay my face cam. I had to delay my mic. I think it was 2 seconds, right? You delay everything. And after like an hour stream, things had to be reset and redelayed. So it was like a really, really tough thing. Um, but um, I mean the capture cards. I think the capture card is the most important item that's probably not talked about because once you like mine's behind my PC, right? Like, well, it's in my PC, right? So you don't even see it, you know. Like everybody loves the Stream Deck. Everybody's like, yeah, Stream Deck, yeah, you know. But like, if your capture card died, you'd probably cry if creating with like a console or anything. You'd be like, oh no, my Stream Deck doesn't do anything because I can't stream now. So I think capture card is like probably one of the most underrated, not talked about products that everybody probably uses, and, yeah, without that, I wouldn't be where I'm at, so
Awesome. And I wanna also ask this question for chat. What do you guys think? If you had to pick only one Elgato product that helped you the most in journey, what would it be and why? So if you guys just want to go ahead and type all of that in chat for us. I see someone mentioned like don't forget the Wave 3 as well. You love mine. Same as you guys can see. I am always rocking our pink Wave 3. It's so amazing. I love it. Let's see. Next question is gonna be from ba, 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 Duke of Dookie. With so many methods for chat integration, automation, do you see more chat participation in streams becoming more of a standard than a feature in the future?
alright, let me that was very with so many methods for chat integration automation, do you see more chat participation streams becoming more so, I mean, I'm guessing you're talking about, like, putting chat, like, here, right, or something? I'm assuming that's what you mean by being part of the stream. I'm not actually a fan of that. I think it's a little bit too much. It is also never readable. Like, it's going by so fast sometimes, or it's not big enough. You'd have to put it so big. But I think, um, chats, participation in streams are probably what makes streaming so fun, right? Because, I would say when I grew up, I would always have a buddy or two come over and let's play Super Mario, kart, or let's play Smash. And we would play, and it was an interaction, that talking, "Oh my gosh, you're gonna beat him, blah, blah." That's essentially what the chat brings, right? It's like the virtual couch streaming, right? Like with your buddies. I think chat will always be important. I think people that bring in their chat creatively in a unique way will stand out. Like use how Jasmine has this. This is pretty cool, right? Like having a Q&A and actually still being able to see the question is pretty cool. Um, and outside of that, I think if you just figure out ways where, because a lot of people like what are they called? What is it like? You play Pokemon and everybody goes up, down, and you're playing. I think that's a cool interaction. But obviously that's just like automating a game for a stream for a chat. But I think chats are the heart and soul of streams, right? Because without chat, it's not, usually go there. Yes, it's great to hang out with X creator, but you probably have your buddy or your favorite mod, or you're bickering or bantering with somebody that they will always banter back with you. So I think chat's like just key part of streaming and foundation of building a community overall.
Looks like they actually clarified their question. They're saying
Oh,
there are
okay.
different programs that allow chat to trigger different scenes, actions, in-game responses, etc. That's more what they meant, but they get it.
So you're talking about those TikTok streams with somebody sleeping and then the lights and stuff flashing. I think that stuff is unhealthy if that's what you're talking about. But if you be creative with it in a sense of, I've seen people do like, you create a flashbang while somebody's playing Call of Duty. That's cool. That's not as destructive, but yeah, I mean, chat being able to, what was it like a few years ago? There was a game you could play. It was a scary game, but chat could somehow make like thumping noises or like scary sounds while you're playing. I forgot what the game was. I didn't play because I don't like scary games, but I remember that was pretty cool thing because like your chat can make it sound like it'll say like footsteps to the left. So you'll be streaming, you're like, wait, I thought I heard something. But it wasn't anything in the game. They're triggering a sound in the game through chat. I don't know. It was pretty cool. I think if you get creative with it and it gets very, very engaging, I think it'll be very, very fruitful and very unique.
Yeah. No, I think that's really awesome when you're able to integrate like chat actions into your stream. It's something for Valorant too, actually, where it's like a channel point redeem, where if you redeem a channel, was it redemption, you can actually make them drop their gun in game.
Right. Like, oh, yeah. If you could do that, or, pistol only for this whole match, right? Or, have them, um, trigger your ability now. Can you imagine you're just walking around your jet and all of a sudden, you're just like,
Yeah.
"Why? Why now? Why? Why are you doing this to me?"
No, there's a
And you have
funny
to use it?
TikTok content for that too, actually, because like they're not in any control. Like they end up dropping their gun because chat does it. And like it just
Right.
automatically drops it for them because it triggers like a key in game. And like
Right,
one of
right.
their teammates was just like, come on, please stop dropping your guns. Please stop. And the chat would just keep dropping their gun. And they're just like, it's not me. It's
It
great.
is it
It's
is
great.
it is fruitful if you're creative with it, yeah.
Let's see. Next question is gonna be, we kinda already answered this a little bit earlier, but I guess for the new people who are joining, bless you. It's gonna be
Thank you.
from Michelle. Is there any big no-nos for brands that is kind of unspoken when looking for sponsorships?
No nos? I mean, be a good person. I think that just covers it, right? Like, be a good person, be respectful and kind and helpful to others. Um, people are human, but at the same time, you just can't be hateful, right? Here's an example. A lot of people assume that if you cuss, that's a no-no. Yes and no. I'll explain to you how most brands see this. Let's say I stub my toe right now, and I go, "Oh, fuck." That's a reactive thing to a pain. Now, saying of a word towards somebody in a hateful way and violent, that's totally different, right? So, but beep, 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 you beep, beep. That's totally different than, because I've had streamers. I remember a few years ago, I had a streamer that was a partner. He was family friendly, but he said the S word once, right? Okay. The reason why he said it was because um, he spilled something all over his keyboard. And so it's all over, but he didn't want to break character. He was in the stream. but it just came out, right? He goes to Miguel, man, hey man, look, I don't understand if you have to terminate, but I said a cuss word in a stream, and he sent me the clip. I was all like, "Nah, you're good." He goes, "Really? I thought if you cuss once." I go, "Well, maybe some brands might actually have like very, very strict. You can't ever say it, which is fine. But I think most in general, people understand that, like, okay, yeah, something like that is just reactive versus there's difference between, X and X, right? So, but essentially just, be a good person, be respectful, um, you know, and just be a good person. That's pretty much it. I mean, that should cover, I think, everything, right? So, don't do anything you wouldn't your mom seeing you doing, I guess, would also be the other aspect, I guess. But other than that,
Mhm.
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I I complete that's kind of cute, honestly. Just like he was so oh my
He was
god.
super stressed, and
He was
I
so
was like
stressed. Like
at first I was like, "Dan, did you threaten somebody on stream? Like, what did you do? Like, this is like, 'cause the way he approached it, and I was like,
Yeah.
when he sent it to me, I was like, "Oh, no, man. What happened? Why you say it?" And he goes, I didn't wanna disclose it because I was in character, and, I was trying to, complete this sponsor stream, but I spilled water all over my 2 keyboards and my stream deck, just all over the place. But I was trying to stay in character, and I was like, "Ah, no, it's good, man. It is what it is, like, it's not." And I explained it to him too, like, now if you had said because of that, you went off on somebody and called them something or a name, okay, that's not acceptable. You can't be, hateful towards somebody, because something happened, so,
Yeah. That's wholesome, like someone said in chat. That's very wholesome.
yeah.
Next
Alright,
question. Oh,
what do we got?
we got a question from Loon Patrol. What benefits can a partner streamer expect from Elgato, and what is expected by Elgato from that partner streamer? That's something that you can disclose.
Alright, so, I mean, so most partners, not giving up all the apples and everything, but one, you get affiliated with the company, so you are recognized an official partner. You'll be part of marketing campaigns. Something cool to add to like when you email somebody, hey, I'm blah blah, yeah, yeah. Also sponsored by Elgato, right? Because then that person at Call of Duty might be familiar. Oh, we work with Elgato all the time. Let me ask Miguel how this content is, this creator is. It's a cool way to make a connection too with somebody you're possibly reaching out to. But I think creators love obviously the perks being, access to new products before launch. Um, we do some cool other stuff. We have like Q&A discords with Julian, which is the GM of Elgato. So people get to give input on what's working, what isn't working, features they wish they had. We listen to everyone in the community, but it's pretty cool for partners to be able to vocally list out a specific issue, and Julian to take note and see what they can do or give them a reply on the solution. um Depending on your obligation to Elgato, it might come with some other incentives that I can't disclose, but it just depends on how the partnership is landscaped. Some creators get uh products for community weekly tournaments, or some creators get in their contract, I get flown out to TwitchCon for as a host for Elgato. So again, each creator is different. It just depends on the creator and what type of content they make and what makes sense for both sides, right? So obviously we wouldn't ask somebody like a VTuber to be like, "Hey, can we put your face on a box?" And they're like, "Oh, my VTuber model?" I'm like, "No, no, no, your actual face." Because then they'll be like, "Well, I don't ever disclose my face, so why would I do that?" So it depends on the person, right, and the creator. So, uh, but yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are genuinely excited. I think a lot of partnerships are probably one of the most sought after partnerships in this space. I would say when we do have partnerships open, um, it's a lot of applications. It's a lot of people, um, so yeah,
On that
um,
side note, are partnerships applications open right now?
sadly, no. There's just too many of you amazing content creators that want to be a partner that we can't keep up with them. So we do have to close them from time to time. But again, you know, um, I'll keep creating. Sometimes you might get noticed outside of things that are even, even during a closed application time. You might create something really cool. I think there's a creator, like I said, I mentioned earlier, made a really cool Starfield use case. So we reached out to them, like, oh, let's do some more work together. Even though our applications closed, it was a really unique and great creative use case that we could justify having a conversation versus just, in general having conversations. So
Awesome. And then what's the best way for our community to get notified of when partnership applications open again?
tell Jasmine to tweet it out, guys. No, I mean, usually I tweet it out. Sometimes we tweet out from Elgato. Not often though, because it gets really, really flooded. Then it leads to it being closed. I just check once a week. Make it, like on Monday. I'll tell you right now, it just closed like a month or two ago. Probably won't be open either till November, and if it's not open in November, probably till after the holidays. So I would assume, around that time frame, will probably open up for a while. I think it's scheduled for like late October, early November for 2 3 weeks, and then it's closed for the rest of the year. So just check every Monday. You just log in, check. All right, it's open, it's not,
And also
and
check
go from there.
our Discord server too, because usually I'll like ping Miguel. I'm like, hey Miguel, can I just
Yes,
announce this
yes.
in the Discord? So
Right. Yeah.
definitely join Discord, exclamation mark Discord. We also have a giveaway right now in our Discord server, an exclusive giveaway where you can win some really
More
awesome,
stuff.
yeah,
More
more
stuff.
stuff, more stuff. Wait, let me go ahead and double check because I know we have two separate giveaways happening right now. One on Twitter and one on Discord. We're currently giving away a Starfield Edition Wave 3 and Stream Deck in our Discord server right now. Winner will be chosen tomorrow. So make sure to go join, go enter. And then there's a link for the Twitter giveaway where the winner will also be chosen tomorrow. And there are two separate giveaways, guys. So enter both.
Join the Discord. If you want to know, I'll give Jasmine they okay to always tweet out when they open, and then you'll know. I think there's a partnership
Channel.
channel, so she'll
Yep.
probably post on there. She'll say it's open, and then you'll be one of the select few that know, versus the whole general public. So,
Yes. All
and
right.
that Twitter giveaway is pretty cool. It comes with a
Oh, yeah.
GPU and a processor and the Starfield theme, and they didn't sell those. So I think that's pretty cool because you get something that nobody could buy. So
Mm-hmm. And this is just a little message for you, Miguel. It's from LP XDC. So, no question. Just want to thank Miguel for his time. And honestly, as a Latino in the space, it's amazing to see how far he's come and the personal interactions I've had with him regarding my thoughts on the products I've used. GG's.
thank you. Latino stand up. Puerto Rico, Boricuas. Hey. Yeah. I mean, I don't like, I don't know what the word would be, but I've noticed, like, I was like, oh man, Latino space is lacking in the industry. All we could do is uplift each other and, hope everybody gets in. Obviously, in the industry, there's only so many job slots anyway, so not everybody can get in. But I do take pride that I'm Puerto Rican born and raised, so I'm from the island, and yeah, I've made it pretty far in the industry. So with English being not only or Spanish not being or English not being my first language, not my second language, it was actually my third language. So coming from that as well, it's pretty big, something big and be proud of. So
Awesome. And then just for everyone in chat to know, we have a lot of really great questions right now. We're gonna try to go through all of them. If you don't see your question answered, it's more than likely because we've already answered it earlier in the stream. So definitely check out the VODs. But move on to the next question from Yo-Yo Meg. So they said that they know you said creativity is key. Do we partner with people who cover more indie style games or something like Star Citizen?
yeah, so I mean, I don't think games or anything really matter. We do makeup artists. We do a guy that does like mechanical stuff to his beamer in his garage. We did a wood craver in Australia once. Um, So I think indie games is great if you be creative about them. If you could create some unique content with it. I really don't think it matters what you're playing, for us at least, and for most companies, unless you're looking for like, obviously, if you're trying to get a Call of Duty sponsorship and you play indie games, you might not have good luck. But when you're looking for brands and stuff, even mainstream brands, and why be my mainstream is like Prime, Coke, Hot Pockets, things like that. Everyday brands you probably know. Um, your the type of game you play probably doesn't matter in the sense of like, oh, am I going to be dinged because it's indie? If you're creative, you're doing some crazy cool stuff with it, and you're going to stand out. I think brands will want to work with you. I think I remember one creator a few years ago. I don't know if it was Star Citizen, but he played one of the games and one of like sci-fi ship games, and it was he had like a whole. What he did was he got a green screen, of course. He recorded himself in front of the green screen doing a certain thing, Um, and then he would trigger that through his stream deck. So let's say he was mining. So he would have himself an astronaut suit mining. And then while he's streaming, he'd be like, "Oh, it's time to mine. Let me send myself to go out there and mine, mine some stuff." So he'd press the button, and then he would come in, pre-recorded thing, and mine, and then walk away. So even though the game wasn't big, he got a lot of attention, got our attention at one point, and I think just being creative is the best answer there.
Awesome. Let's see. Next question's gonna be from Cousin Moore. What's the best way to build your community as a first-time streamer?
So, best way, to be completely honest, is
Bless
sorry,
you.
going back to your unique viewer perspective, which I talked about. Um,
Bless you.
so that's you can build a community. The sooner you, of course, I have a sneeze attack. Uh,
Oh no.
purple elephants. What is it? You're supposed to say something. Um, so create a niche within a niche. Example. Let's say you play Call of Duty. That's very, very big. Hard to build a community around that because it's too vague, right? Okay. And then it went away. Go further. You're a college student that plays Call of Duty. So then somebody that can relate to you is going to be part of your community and build upon that. If I can just sneeze, I feel better. So again, myself, I'm a gamer. Dad, I would probably lean into that. Gamer dad hours. I can't sneeze. It's there, but it doesn't want to come out. All right. But essentially, that will help you create a foundation for your community, and then you could gain more general community members, and that makes sense. So, let's say you're an Apex player and you love anime. And because you love anime, you're a VTuber and you have anime themed outfits. So you have a one piece and you have a this and that, and your model has different, has the straw hat and has this or that. And then people are like, "Well, I love anime. I love Apex." Yeah. So I think the more you have to do niche within a niche. So you're gonna have to break it down. You're gonna have to find, like I said, Call of Duty, college student, Call of Duty dad playing in dad hours late at night, right? Whatever it is, you're gonna have to find it's not it's too vague and too open to just be X. You have to do X and X if that makes sense. So I hope that helps.
Awesome. Next question's gonna be from ba-ba-bum, Isaiah's channel. Is gaming your main focus for finding partners who feature products, or do you branch outside of that genre to find the people whose streams feature Elgato products like lighting, the arm, mics, genres like traditional arts or craftings, for example?
I'm just rereading. Do you branch out outside of genre to find people whose streams feature? So yeah, so like I said, I think I mentioned before, we did a carpenter, we've done makeup people. Gaming isn't the main focus. I think if you create content uniquely, me and my son, we did Pokemon pack openings, while everybody was doing it, right? The big old trend, things like that. So I wouldn't say you need to be a content creator that does gaming. Does it help? I think gaming just makes your content easier because the game is there, then you just kind of sort of depend on that aspect and you can create content around that, right? Like role playing um or creating stories or Warzone, you chat in proximity chat, you chat with people. So it's easier. When you start doing something like a Lego builder or this or that, pack openings, you have to be a little bit more creative. Your content's reliant on things like opening packs or doing this and that. So it's a little bit tougher, but I think if it's something you enjoy and you're enjoying creating content, then go for it. You don't have to. I wouldn't stay too gaming. I don't think it's required.
Yeah, just like Miguel mentioned, like creativity, right? So you guys doesn't have to be gaming. I've seen a lot of like really creative streamers too who are part of us. Like it's really amazing.
I mean,
Next,
that's one of the key things we look for is like being super creative or using our products in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
So
Like, was it? I believe it's Mr. Greggles because he's like a drummer, right? And like the way that he used our products, like the way that just is so amazing. Just his stream is great. It's like musicians, makeup artists, VTubers, what was it cooking? We have like I know of a lot of partners that are just within a lot of different categories of like different streams and stuff. So it's really cool.
yeah,
Next
I mean,
question.
and it's the little things. The crazy thing is like these really big things people talk about probably take an hour or two to do and set up, and then it's good. It's taking the initiative and actually trying to put in the extra effort to set up those things. It takes you a long way. So
All right, next question is gonna be from God Deathwish. Does a partnerships director watch, review, and approve all partnership streams, tweets, or any social media?
oof, okay, that's hard. Yeah, so we don't approve tweets. I'm guessing tweets from partners. They could tweet as there's a code of conduct they have to obey by, right? So things they can or can't do. Um, I watch we watch as much as we can from everybody. We actually have a Discord bot in our server for partnerships that anytime our partners tweet or post any type of content on any platform, it actually um posts like on a channel so then we could click on it throughout the day and see what our creators are doing. Um but yeah, I mean I'm pretty still involved. I watch, I look for talent and content, right? So if I see somebody creating something cool, I send them over to like Gabe or Art to take a look and stuff like that. So it's still involved in that process. So is Julian, even our GM. He loves scoping out Twitter. He's a he's a Twitter founder at this point. No, he also, he finds stuff too, and he'll send it over. He'll like, "Hey guys, look, I saw this," and it's like, "Oh, cool," and then we, consider reaching out to that creator or not.
All right, next question is gonna be from, let's see, it's from Chris. Do you guys sponsor YouTubers too, or only Twitch streamers?
Yeah, YouTubers, TikTokers, Instagrammers. Um, if you create content on a platform, and as long as the content is good and creative, it doesn't matter the platform. YouTube is there's a lot of YouTubers. There's way more YouTubers though than Twitch streamers, so I can understand where it might not seem as much, but yeah, all
Mm-hmm.
platforms.
And then this is a question from D Matin. I personally stream without camera, but also without VTuber because I really like to keep the entire screen very clean and let the gameplay speak for itself. Would something like this be important for working together with Elgato?
Because so no, I mean we actually partner with some people that just either used to only do let's plays, so they never showed their face. They probably just commentated their let's plays. There's also people that just did like really really cool, back in the montage days and stuff like that. Sniping montages and things like that. So I don't think you're the camera showing yourself. I mean, look at Dream. Dream was so successful without ever showing his face, right? So things are as long as the content is speaking for itself, being creative and unique, I think you'll be fine. I don't think you need to use a face cam.
Awesome. Next question is gonna be from Rodenick. Hello, Miguel. What do you think about streaming Twitch and YouTube at the same time, or should you focus on only one platform?
All right. So my personal take on this is until a platform is exclusively paying you to work or post on that platform, you should be posting and repurposing your content on every platform possible. For example, like I have a Tesla niche content uh channel, so I post it on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram, and yeah, I don't stick to one platform. And it's crazy to do this because something on TikTok will get like 900K views, and then on Instagram we'll get like 1K views, and then on YouTube we'll get like 2K views. It's interesting to see like what does well and why. And then, it helps you like you could take the same video, but maybe change one or two things every time you upload it to, on the same day to a different platform, and realize what worked and what didn't work. So I would definitely, I'm a big fan of repurposing, and until you are financially obligated by a contract. So now if Twitch hits you up and says, hey, Rod, on you're gonna have to stream on Twitch for 1 million a year, then guess you're just stuck on Twitch, my dude. But until then, I'm a big, big, big fan of repurposing content all the time.
Awesome. And then next question is gonna be from Matt Flores. Does something like medicinal marijuana usage ever stop you guys from partnering with someone?
Uh, I mean, that's tough. As long as as long as you aren't breaking term of service on the platform, um, I I guess it depends on the situation, right? Like if you're using it medically off stream, but that's your own business. If you have to use it during the stream, because that's when you have to use it because of what are prescription rotations, or that's the hour you usually take it. Um, I don't know if that's within term of service, but what I would say is that um, I think the fine line is once you start pushing it. So because only it's legal for you at the time, you can't like do like advocating for it in the sense of like, hey, go to Billy's in the corner that sells, blah blah blah. You couldn't do if you did partnerships with other brands, then it would probably scare away other brands just in general, if that makes sense, right? So if X brand sells medical marijuana and you get a sponsorship and you use their vape pen or whatever it is, and you advertise that, then that would probably be where you've crossed the line where other brands probably stop partnering with you. I hope that answers this question. I know it's not like a direct answer, but
Mm-mm. Let's see. Next question is gonna be from Connor. Hi, Connor. Which Elgato collaboration has been your favorite? The Starfield Stream Deck is so rad.
mm, I'll show you. Hold on.
Ooh, is that the Dreamville one?
It would be it would be this one. So the Dreamville one, like 2-3 years ago, I think at this point, it's my favorite. Not only because it was like a labor of work. Um, it was supposed to be around the same time J. Cole's album was supposed to be dropped, but then we had some issues. There's actually shoes, but I have them in my closet. I don't have them in my office. Shoes that were supposed to drop, and you actually look them up. They're Puma shoes, and they're this same colorway, blue and white. So the idea was like J. Cole is going to wear the shoes and then show off the mic and blah blah. But the mics weren't ready in time. But they're ready. I think like 4 or 5 months later, and we did something in Dreamville Fest. So um, that's my favorite.
Sounds like ain't no way Dreamville was 3 years ago.
It was 3 years ago. It's
Wow.
2000. Yeah,
Alright,
it's
next
2 or 3. I forget. But yeah, it was a while ago.
next question is gonna be from Mike Failer. Do you guys have interest in partnering with brands outside of collabs, or do you specifically only partner with creators/influencers? If so, how should they approach you?
Um, so brand collabs, I guess that's pretty. I think you have to be a little bit more specific, but um, I mean, we're open to any conversations. We don't have like we're not doing this ever type any policies or anything like that in the sense of like starting conversations. So best bet is to you can always email here. Hold on, let me make sure I get it right before I go blurting this out. Where's this email? All right. So you could always email if it loads up for me, because I just want to make sure I have the right one. Okay. So you could always email. It's a long one. Partnerships.elgato@corsair.com. So you could always send something there, and then it does get reviewed for like brands and stuff. If you have a situation you want to pitch or something, again going back to our original conversation, you know cover who you are, show three examples of your best work or what you have in mind, and then cover what you expected in return and what you want to do in the whole conversation or collaboration, right? So, and then you should get it. If any interest, you'll definitely get a response.
Awesome. Oh, it's Baffle. Hello, Baffle. This person's actually one of our giveaway winners and stopped by to say hi to us at during TwitchCon last year, San
Oh wow.
Diego. They're asking, have you ever teamed or partnered with winners of your giveaways to show how your products have changed or made their content better?
We haven't, but I will tell you this: if you win something and you show all that, you might get the attention of a partnerships manager or coordinator. It might lead to something. And this is just for any brand, right? So, funny story. I actually got this monster fridge because I won like a little monster contest. They sent me a case of monsters, and I did some cool Instagram stuff with them, with the cans. And then they reached out to me and said, "Hey, we want to send you." This is like 6, 7 years ago, but we want to send you a fridge. They sent me like a helmet. Uh, what else they sent me? They sent me a whole bunch of stuff. They're like, "We would love to see more content." So I did content around that stuff. And yeah, so just know like if you do ever win anything, obviously the brands are very looking or paying attention to you because they sent you something. That's like a 15-second elevator pitch you might have an opportunity for, right? Like you might, you could get something cool, you can win something and be like, "Hey guys, look, I got this cool." Or you could say, or you could be like, say you want a mic, right? And you could say, "This is what I sound like before," and you have like a whatever mic, right? And it doesn't sound that good, and then you set up this mic, and then you show it off. Then might catch the attention of somebody that's paying attention.
Awesome. I see someone asked they mentioned that they want to apply. So currently partnership applications are closed right now, but definitely join our Discord server because we will be posting it on our Discord server once it is open. Or also follow Miguel. Usually Miguel like tweets out that is open or something like that. So exclamation mark guest in our Twitch chat to see his link. And then let's see. Next question is gonna be from Uh, Crazy Nut, have you been looking for sponsorships and partnerships for folks using Elgato products for business, seminars, classes, etc.?
So that's kind of tricky. We've worked with some people in the past that like done things, they teach a class or they're doing like what do they call it? Like webinars that are showcasing how to have better content for video calls and interviews. We definitely were open to any conversations. It's case by case. We've worked with some, you know, Derek schools and other people that are helping coach people up on how to better perform their video calls. But um, yeah, I would say the answer to that would be feel free to pitch it, and if it's of interest, we would definitely reach out um, and then go from there.
Awesome. Next question is gonna be from Loon Patrol. Do current partnerships matter with prospective partners? So, for example, if they're partnered with Twitch or a particular game and ambassador for a military service organization, would that be like a plus or a negative? Um,
There's no stupid questions in life. But no, that's some exclusive stuff happening. So I mean, I think so. It's pretty open, right? So you're saying like I'm partnered with Twitch, a particular game, and ambassador for military service. I mean, you know, I would say for most brands, I mean, obviously, if you're partnered with a competitor, that might be an issue. If the brand has X obligations to one platform, let's say Call of Duty randomly has a cool exclusive only content partnership with YouTube randomly one year. That might hurt Twitch people, right? Because then they probably wouldn't be able to engage with you as per the contract terms they have with YouTube. I think watch parties work that way, right? Where they did in the past, where you could only do Call of Duty watch parties on YouTube because it was the Call of Duty platform for esports league, whatever it was, or E League. So I think they don't do that anymore. But essentially, you know, if you have a partnership with a competitor, that's obviously going to be a problem, right? So if you are sponsored by Prime, and then Monster or Gatorade hits you up. I guess Gatorade would be a better example because this is energy. Gatorade hits you up, that might be a problem. But it just, I think it's case by case, right? So, um, obviously, your particular game, you don't list the game, but let's say you're sponsored or you have a sponsorship with, I don't know, Battlefield. I don't they didn't even make a Battlefield recently, but let's say it's Battlefield and you're trying to work with Call of Duty, they might not work with you. And obviously your terms with Battlefield might prohibit you from working with Call of Duty. So it's all case by case, a lot of variables to consider there. So
Awesome. Let's see. Next question is gonna be from Connor. If there's an Elgato product you would recommend to a content creator just starting out, what would it be?
that's tough. You need a capture card, so that'll be one. But assuming you have a capture card, Stream Deck would be a close second because you could do some really cool things with you know, not even having a face cam. So you could do like cool sounds. I think Jasmine did a sound earlier, right? On a stream deck. So that's an example of something you could do while not reading like a good webcam or anything, right? So
Bless you. Bless you.
man. But that being said, capture card for sure. Stream deck. I think there's so many possibilities you could be so the most creative with that.
Bless you.
Oh man, that I think that would be a close second. So
Yeah, who's pressing their sneeze button on Stream Deck? It's Burrito. Can confirm it's Burrito over there in chat. She's just spamming that sneeze button. You know, Miguel's
too
just
many
playing along.
too many channel points. Always watching these streams. Got too many channel points. So
I know. I'll definitely have to say, like, I think for me, I think audio is really important. So I feel like if you don't have a good mic, that'll probably be something to definitely like Wave 3 is like I love Wave 3 so much. It's like one of my first Elgato products I actually got. And it just made me sound so much better. So we'll always stand by my Wave 3.
it's not a bad alternate, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
it's just case by case. It's like what can help you as a creator at the time, right? Say you have a good face cam. Say Wave 3 already. You have a capture card. Okay, maybe Stream Deck. Or maybe you have a Stream Deck capture card Wave 3, but you're gaming like this. Okay, maybe key lights might be your next solution. So
Yes. Next question is gonna be from Goose. I am a gaming ambassador with the USO and do charities for them. And such, does something like that matter?
no, I mean
Bless you.
it's just a charity, right? USO is what is it, United Servicemen, or I forget what it is, but basically helping servicemen currently inactive and veterans. So no, it doesn't matter. I mean, it shouldn't matter with any brand because it should probably be a one-off and stuff like that. If you're doing something long term, it still shouldn't matter because it's a charity thing. So
Awesome. Uh let's see. Next question is gonna be from Angra. What's one of your favorite times you've seen someone use the Elgato products in a super creative or cool way?
man. So that's tough. Um Actually two instances to come up. One, a buddy of mine, I gave him he's a big engineer and he does home automation. And what he did was he created in his little dev mind and ways, you could press a button and like his house would have certain settings. So for daytime, certain blinds would open, certain lights would turn on, certain like it was crazy. Like he had it, he made a whole, you know how like your thermostat's usually on your wall. So he made a stream, he put the stream deck in there, and then he grabbed the nook and he did all this crazy stuff and he put all that stuff in the wall. And he did that. And like he could start like his coffee machine by pressing a button. It was crazy. I was like, how are you doing this? He's all like, he started explaining it, and I was just like, okay, like this is beyond me, right? Like this is I understand he did a lot of coding and stuff, but essentially he got HomeKit somehow and then created like some integration or something, because you can do that Stream Deck. Stream Deck has, the tools out there where you can, develop your own stuff. The second would be, I think I mentioned it earlier, was the creator that was playing like Star Citizen or something. It was some, I forgot the name of the game was, but one of the spaceship, exploring games. And the fact that he created clips of himself doing stuff. He even did like I think you guys seen it, but like when somebody comes and gives somebody a coffee cup and leaves, but it's themselves. Like he did all that stuff, and then he made it so scripted that when he triggered something, he would have a conversation with himself. So he'd be like, "Yo, yo, whoa, 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 what are you doing?" And he would look back at himself, and it would be like, "What do you mean what I'm doing? I'm mining." No, 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 but we need steel, not iron. He goes, I'll do what I want. And then he goes back to mining. So it's like he created little scenes. So I think those will probably be my top two when it comes to usage of our products.
That's awesome. I also want to ask that question in chat though. Have you guys seen anyone using like Elgato products in a creative way? And if so, I want to like hear the stories about these because there's so many amazing ways that you can use our products in a creative form. I've seen like I think Big Cheese was probably like one of the first creators that I ever noticed or saw using Stream Deck in like an amazing way. Like he has like all these actions where he just does his little dance and like these little toggles or whatever that he does. It's such a vibe. It's really, really cool. I'm sure that if you guys check him out, he is one of my partners. You can probably, you give him a sub, he does like this little sub hype dance thing. It's awesome.
I don't know what it's called, but it's like I call it the Powerpuff Girl thing or whatever, right? Where like it
Yeah.
multiplies him. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And again, the cool thing about that is that like it probably took him a day to do all that, but now that it's set up, he can do it forever. And like Jasmine, it's left an impression on her where she still remembers it. I think that's what you have to do with our tools is create a moment or experience where creators and viewers are just creating something that, the viewers like, wow, that was so cool. I wish, I knew how to do that. Or I wish I was doing that myself. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see someone in chat, Merck says that they have a custom scene for a hype train at level 5. It was about 70 plus actions. There's a better way now, but they set up 2 years ago.
wow.
That's amazing. I want to see that. But yeah, there's just a lot of amazing, amazing ways that you guys can use the products for, and we love seeing the creativity that our community shows us too. Next question is gonna be from Cruz on: do partners have the ability to have input when it comes to Elgar products, not exclusively, but since use of products?
So I think I covered that earlier. So we do like town halls and stuff, and then there'll be certain town halls that Julian leads, and we take every not only partners but any creators input and work solutions or problems. We take it all, add feedback and try to see what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. But as a partner, you do get first looks, you do get asked, right? So I think forever ago, yeah, I think Julian asked years ago, and I don't even know if there's ever be a product, but there was a big discussion about blue screens versus green screens, right? So he actually made one and he asked, like, who would actually do this? Why? Blah, blah, blah. So we actually made one to test it out due to the feedback of partners saying, like, oh, I love a blue screen. Um, I don't know what ever came of that or if it'll ever come out, but that's just an example of like us taking feedback, willing to try it, willing to see. Like for me, a blue screen wouldn't work, right? Because then like I think this would probably still show up kind of weird, and then I'd be half on a chair, not on a chair. But we do listen, and you don't have to be a partner specifically. If you do have any feedback, issues, things like that, if you go on social, you tag us, it's probably going to be seen by the right personnel. And we have channels. We talk about things all the time. Jasmine and her team and Brito always post like, hey, somebody suggested this. And we all talk about it as a team. So nothing goes unseen, I would say.
All right. Thank you. With that being said, I think that does conclude that like concludes the questions from the community. Miguel, is there anything that you want to mention to our chat before we draw the giveaway winner and end the stream?
I would say, as a creator, I think the hardest part is identifying yourself as your niche. Like I said before, 10, 12 years ago, 13, 15 years ago, hitting live was a button and going live was huge. I think now we're at an age where you have to find a niche within a niche and essentially be able to separate yourself from everybody else in the sense of finding the niche within a niche to connect and be relatable to your viewership and build a community around that, right? So, um, look. I watch a few streams of Jasmine. I think she does really great, but I did notice she has a lot of VTuber fans. Why? Because she did VTubing, and they embrace that and they love that about her. You sometimes have to, but she plays Valorant, so she's not just a Valorant streamer. She's a Valorant VTuber content creator. So it goes deeper. You have to go deeper. Long gone are days of being like, I'm a Madden player, and that's it, right? So I think you have to deeper. You have to create a connection, and I think you know one last bit, and I'll tell you this, and this goes for every brand. I know a lot of creators take, oh, this brand's not working with me because of this. I'll be 100% honest. I would say probably 80 to 90% of the time the reason why a brand probably doesn't work with you is not because of you, it's because of them. In the sense of they either don't have budget or they're at bandwidth on what else they can handle, right? Because every partner we have to onboard, we have to, we talk to our partners. So one human being can only talk to so many people, right? And handle so many requests. So sometimes it's a budget thing, or sometimes it's just a strategy thing. So let's say right now this week we're looking for content creators that cook and you're a Call of Duty content creator and you inquire, you're not part of the strategy and target at the time. So then I would say, don't ever take rejection, be relentless, keep trying. I would say when I was a content creator full time, I would send 100 emails a day and get one response. And that could be discouraging, right? You could be like, man, I sent so many emails, only one person responded to me. And it's not even like somebody I'm super excited about. Of course, I'm grateful for the opportunity, but it's not like whoever wanted to, reply to me. I would say you have to be relentless in that form. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep trying, and be smart about it, right? So, one last tip, I could give advice all day on this, but one last tidbit I would say is when you do reach out to company, try to follow those 3 bits that I told you on the section, right? Like three sections: intro, show off work, and then what you want to do and what you need to accomplish this from the company. Um, just realize that, it's not easy. You have to, put in work. And that and the end, just know that most of the time, like I just said previously, it's probably not you. You know, Elgato. I could have a great Call of Duty content creator hit me up today. But we already have our max for content creators that play Call of Duty. So even though they might be a great fit, I would tell them, hey, try again. And when I mean try again in like 3 to 6 months. Trying to get next week or in a month, things probably going to change. Give it some time, 3 to 6 months, and then try again with the same brand and keep trying. So that would be my advice.
I guess one last question to add on that for our community is that if they reach out to you, how long should they wait until they do a follow up?
So a little hidden secret in the industry right now, a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of influencer managers are doing is that their inbox is actually scheduled or has a rule where the inbox is unread from oldest. This is something that a lot of people started doing. I started doing myself a long time ago too, because it was kind of unfair because the way the inbox is by default, the newest is always up top. So if you wrote me yesterday and you repinged me today, you're up top and but that's not fair to the guy that wrote me it 2 days prior that's below. Um and the inbox always refreshes to the top when you open it, blah blah. So my inbox actually works from the oldest. You just have to be conscious, like cautious of things, in the sense of like when to follow up. I would say 2 to 3 weeks is usually enough, but what if the person's on PTO? If you email the person they're in PTO, probably understand. Okay, there's probably a backlog. I'll give you guys a number. I went on PTO one day, and I was actually at like 2 unread. I was like, all right, let me knock out these two. So I knock out those two, zero unread. Yes, I'm gonna come back to zero. I came back to 1,800 emails, taking
Oh
2 days
my
off.
God.
So, that just gives you like, and then, it creates a backlog, you gotta go. So, it's, you know, timing too, right? If you write somebody day before Thanksgiving, they're probably off that day, the next day for 4 days. So you probably not I wouldn't even count those days. I'd be like, okay, well, those 4 or 5 days, they probably didn't even look at their email. Now they probably have a bigger backlog. I'd probably give them 3 solid weeks. So, I would say a safe number is probably like 3 weeks, 3 weeks to a month, maybe. Now, if it's something pressing, probably a week or two, if it's time consuming. But this is also where I think I said at the beginning of the stream, reaching out 2 months in advance to when you want to start, it gives you that cushion. So then you're not also like, let's say you're like, oh, I'm gonna stream this game on Friday, and that's on what day is on Friday? Friday is the 29th, and you reach out to X brand on the 25th. On the 26th, you're like, hey, can we do this? And then 27th, hey, I haven't heard back. Chances are that person's probably really busy that week because of that launch on the 29th. And then on top of that, you're probably just pushing yourself down on the list because, like I said, a lot of managers in the space have adapted to this oldest to newest unread,
Mm-hmm.
just because that way it keeps it fair for those people that are actually patient and waiting, right? Versus being buried. I mean, some people are scared to follow up too, so it makes it a little fair for them. So,
Mm-hmm. And also, like something to note when you said Friday as well, it's like they don't get back to you Friday. Saturday and
right.
Sunday, majority of us are off.
And then
So
if Monday's a holiday, then you have to take that into consideration too. Like, okay, I emailed Friday. They probably didn't see it. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday's Labor Day, whatever holiday, right? It lands on Monday. Okay. Another thing to be cautious of is like 4th of July is on Tuesday. I would assume Monday, Tuesday, you probably have off. Some companies might do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So if you email that Friday, that's probably 5 days your email just possibly sat. But, in hindsight, a lot of us in the space, do work a lot. We do, work there in off hours. You will see me respond to some emails. If I'm watching Sunday night football and I'm just chilling, I'll grab my Mac, start going through some emails, catching up on the backlog. If you ever do get an email from somebody either after hours or during the weekend, be super appreciative because they've taken personal time probably to catch up to you and stuff like that. But yeah, follow-ups, it just depends on the situation. But I would usually, you know, just look at the scope of the land, right? It just varies. I remember somebody, I forgot what it was, but I think I was on PTO, and usually my PTO message says like, "I'll be gone till September 30th," and they wrote me like, let's say September 20th, then the 22nd. Hey, are you back yet? Hey, like when I got back, it was a thread of like a lot of follow-ups asking if I was back yet. But read the out of office emails, I would say, and take that date in consideration, and then realize that the day they come back is probably not the best day to follow up because they're probably trying to catch up anyway. So give them a few days after that. But yeah, that's what I would say on that
awesome.
front.
Thank you so much, Miguel. Can we get some hearts in chat, please, for Miguel? Thank you for your time and for being here to help answer our community's questions
I
about
need tissues
partnerships. Yeah, you need tissues.
and Claritin D. That's what I need. Who has a Claritin D emoji? If somebody has a
Oh,
Claritin D emoji right now, I'll give you one free Elgato product.
oh,
Who has one?
Clarington D emoji. Oh, you hear that? Anyone has one? An emote
Uh,
free Elgar
three, three, 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. No, don't see one.
Imagine though, imagine.
We got a
Right.
free Elgato product today. So
Alright, it's time to draw the winner, guys. But before I say that, make sure you go follow Miguel in his socials. It is in the, was it, I believe, exclamation mark guest. And then you can see like the link to his socials there. Follow him on Twitter. Miguel, do you stream sometimes?
I have a 2-year-old. I don't stream until he turns 3. So that's
Okay,
that's how that works.
fair, fair,
So
fair.
it's funny because like some people were pointing out like, hey, like 2, 3 years ago you're streaming a lot. I was like, yeah, my son turned 3, so he's going like preschool. He had like more like independency. Now that I have a 2-year-old son, I'm just like, yeah, I'm a year off. So
Hmm. That sounds good. Sounds good. All right. And also a reminder, if you guys haven't already, make sure to go join our Discord server. We are hosting an exclusive giveaway there, and we do tend to host exclusive giveaways in our Discord server. We also have like Q&As there from time to time. So definitely go join, check out. If you guys have any questions, feel free to, towards like us or something, like feel free to ask in the general chat. If it's any technical questions, there is a community technical help category. So make sure you go post those questions in the correct channels and not in general chat. Um, but yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and count down. Chat, you guys want to count down with us from 5, and then we draw the winner? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good luck, good luck. Thy name is Legion. Are you here? You have a minute to say something in chat, otherwise we will re-roll for a new winner. So they are here. They are in chat. All right, congrats to the winner. You will be receiving a DM from Elgato on Twitch. So make sure that your Twitch DMs are open and give me about 30 minutes to reach out. And congrats again. And thank you guys so much for joining the stream, everyone. We'll see you guys next time. Miguel, thank you as well. And let's go ahead and find a partner to raid. So let me go ahead and see who is live right now. I wonder. And then if Brito, if you're in chat, or Brandon, if you guys can go ahead and direct the stream to one of our partner streams. But all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and just put us in the ending stream. Enjoy the little lo-fi music we are playing from our Stream Deck store. So see you guys next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.